Fantastic. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Mario Armstrong here for Corona Con Live. Special shout going out to my man, Dave Anderson of Business Bully TV, who put together this amazing conference, a virtual conference just like that with amazing guests. You have more people lined up coming up later on. Today, I'm going to be featuring two different topics back to back, and I look forward to you taking your questions. The first topic is going to be on how to actually utilize this time in quarantine to monetize your dream. So I'm going to share with you tips, advice, and suggestions on how you can actually do that. And then the second presentation that I'm going to be doing is how you can actually start to develop your company, your ideas, your dreams, your goals through sponsorship. A lot of people look for funding sources as it relates to VC money or angel investors, or using your own credit cards or your own debt or your own, personal finances to try to get your idea going. But a big overlooked place where you can get money to help fund your ideas is sponsorships. So I'm going to show you how we do our sponsorships, how we're able to close $5, $6, and $7-figure deals, and how we're able to do everything from the Never Settle show and win Emmy Awards and be able to present these ideas to you in a way that's going to be practical and useful. I'm going to show you some slides. I also have a website with worksheets that are going to be available for you for free, so that you'll also be able to download some things and start working on them right away. So once again, my name is Mario Armstrong. I'm an NBC Today Show contributor. I'm also the creator and co-founder of the Never Settle Network, which is our YouTube channel that just launched. We just crossed 1,000 subscribers within our first week. So we're super excited about that. And on the YouTube channel at Never Settle Network, we have our big show, the Never Settle Show, which is a 30-minute weekly show that we do with a live studio audience. It was pre-recorded last year, with topics to help you pursue your passion successfully. So I'm going to get into this first topic that we have here. So let me jump into my screen and pull up my deck for y'all. Let's do that first. And we'll go here. All right, so first topic that we got going on is how to build your dream during quarantine. What can you do now to build your passion and monetize it? The time is now. Like, the one thing that all of you have been asking for to pursue your passion, to do your thing, to make it happen, has been time. I just wish I had more time. I wish I had more time to think about how I could create that salon. I wish I had more time to figure out how I could use Facebook and Instagram marketing. I wish I had more time to start that podcast. I wish I had more time to build my real estate investment company. Like, time. Now what do we have? Everybody's at ground zero. Everybody's at the same slate. Who's gonna finish? When this too shall pass, because it will pass, where will you be? Will you be at the front, ready to roll? Will your skills be upgraded? Will you be ready? Will you have been working on things that got you prepared for when this does pass? Or are you sitting back idle? Obviously, if you're here, you're ready to go. So I'm gonna hit right into it, because this is a big moment where if you reassess where you wanna be in life right now, and you put some clarity behind it and some of the tools and the tips that I'm gonna share with you, you are going to see improvement immediately. We got people that I coach, I mentor for free on IG. So if any of you ever need to hit me up in the DM, just go to @MarioArmstrong on Instagram. I'm always available for your questions. @MarioArmstrong on Instagram. Make sure you hit me up there and I can get you some answers. All right, so let's get into this right away. So the first thing is a little bit of who I am. 2-time Emmy Award winner, mentioned that. I'm a motivational speaker with Damon John's Speakers Bureau. And basically my mission is to help people like you to get the advice and the tools and the community and the support so that you can hustle in a mindful way, not in a chaotic way, not in a burn yourself out way. Doesn't mean you don't grind, just means I teach you how to grind mindfully. So you're aware, you're present, you're not getting stressed out, you're not becoming obese, you're not getting into health issues because you're trying to pursue your dream and no one's giving you the direction on how you can do this in a way that's more mindful, that can actually be more strategic for you. So that's what I'm all about. And as we get into today's thing, I wanted you to see a clip of the show. Scared by your vision, this is just a little promo, just so you can see it's a real thing that we do with a live studio audience. You have to make it a statement. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. What's up, beautiful people? What is going on? Yes! Yes, this is awesome. This is incredible. Thank you all so much for being here. You all look beautiful. Thank you for being here. I'm Mario Armstrong, and it's time for Never Settle. Y'all ready? Okay, so I want you to watch the show when you can. Go to the YouTube channel, Never Settle Network. We have new episodes every Tuesday, but as you can see, we have a ton of content on the website. We got our, on the YouTube channel, we got our podcast, we got behind the scenes, we got digital exclusives, we have the episodes, everything you need right there. You should be consuming a lot of this content because it's for free, and a lot of this stuff's gonna help you grow during this time. All right, now let's get into, so that's YouTube, the Never Settle Network, to go and check that out. All right, now let's get into the first bit of homework and the first piece of advice that I actually want you to focus on. Look at all that content. It just keeps going. It just keeps going, people. All right, the first thing I want to work with you all on is your personal mission statement. Now is the time for you to focus on creating your personal mission statement. And here's the formula for you to do it. You're going to think about the skills that you actually have at this time, the outcomes that you would like to create, who those outcomes can impact, the group of people, and what it's going to take. What are the details behind it? So if you look in the yellow box, you'll see what mine is. Mine is simply to have fun creating opportunities, using my communication skills to help the underdog build their self-worth and net worth. So if you look at number 2, the example on the formula, both of these are a little bit different examples. It all depends on what you want to do. I use number 2 and that reads, to what you want to do. So what I want to do is I want to have fun creating opportunities. How am I going to do it? I'm using my communication skills that I've identified. And who am I going to impact? I want to help the underdog build their self-worth and net worth. So I want to help you level up mentally and also level up financially. So that is my personal mission statement. Once you have that level of clarity as to where you want to go with your life and what you, notice how broad it is. This is not a very specific set of tasks. Those are goals. Those are your to-do lists. Those are actually tasks that you check off. This is broad on purpose. Your personal mission statement has to speak to your soul. It's got to speak to your unique you, the truthful you, your authentic self. That's who it's got to speak to. So you really need to think like, what am I about? What am I trying to create? Who am I creating it for? Why am I doing it? And how do I intend to do it? So I want to have fun working. So that was important to me. So I put in have fun because I want to have fun. I want to enjoy the process. If I can't enjoy the process, I know what that felt like. That felt like suffering. When I got so attached to certain outcomes happening a certain way, I would be in suffering because I'm always grasping for that thing. And I know a lot of you know what that feels like when you're constantly grasping and you feel like you're almost getting there, but you're not. And you get attached to certain outcomes and certain things happening a certain way. The minute I was able to deal with more of my prayer, deal with more enlightenment, deal with more Buddhist practicing, and deal with more mindfulness and meditation and understanding how my thoughts and how I think and my perspective and how I can approach my hustle in a different way, everything started opening up. I was a better person. I was a better father. I was a better husband. I'm just a better human being because I'm more mindfully aware. And so my point is I wanted to have fun. And then I go into creating opportunities. I want to have fun, but I want to make money. I want to make a living. I want to create impact. I want to help other people be successful in their lives. So I want to create opportunities, not just for myself, but for others. And then how am I going to do that? Using my communication skills, because I've written down what my skills are, and you're going to write down what your skills are. And then you're going to identify which skill is going to help you get there. And then who? Are you helping people of color? Are you helping only women of color? Are you helping kids? Are you helping the elderly? Like, who is your very specific audience? And mine is to help the underdog, people that want to do more for themselves, people that have been told no, people that have been denied, people that have had a rough upbringing, but still came out positive and they're trying to do their thing, people that are trying to level up. The underdog is who I feel that I most connect with because I am still one and I was one. Maybe not as much of an underdog as I was before because we keep improving, we keep leveling up. We've had a lot of failures, but we've had a lot of successes. But I still feel like I'm the underdog. We're an independent show creating content. We're doing a bunch of other things. And we're constantly having to run up against some of the same issues that you are. and we're finding ways to get around it. So helping the underdog build their self-worth and net worth. Now, I want you to go to our website. If you like what you see right here and you are ready to download your own personal mission statement, all you got to do is go to neversettle.tv. Never Settle, I'll put this at the end, but neversettle.tv, and then click on the button for tools. Neversettle.tv, and then click on tools. On tools, we have a bunch of different worksheets. One of those is a personal mission statement. It will look just like this when you get there, and then you can go ahead and download that and then fill in your own, okay? So that's the personal mission statement. That's the first thing that I want you to do when I'm thinking about today's topic on how can you use this time right now to help you maximize and monetize during quarantine. The first thing you need to do is have clarity on where it is you're trying to go and what you're trying to do. Therefore, you know what opportunities make sense to chase. Otherwise, you become chaotic and you chase everything that you think has got money behind it. But not everything should be chased. I want you to be more effective, not efficient. Efficient means you can do a lot, but you might not be working on the right things. So I want you to be more effective than efficient. And, you know, at the end of the day, like the universe can't help you if you're standing still. So when you get that clarity and you start to say, this is what I want, this is who I want to help, this is what my personal mission statement is. I want you to put this in your phone. I want you to set it up as an alarm. I want it to ring you a couple of times a day. So you stop, you read that, and you remind yourself what my personal mission statement is. I want this thing on your bathroom mirror so you see it in the morning. I want it on your sock drawer. So when you put it on your socks, you got a little sticky right there that's got your personal mission statement. This should be something that when somebody hits you in the street and they say, what are you about? You can go right to, well, I love creating opportunities, and I'm using my communication skills to create shows and create other things and content to help the underdog build their self-worth and net worth. You come off polished, clear. People want to partner, collaborate, and spend money with people that are clear. So that's your personal mission statement. Next thing, how can you monetize your passion? This is a biggie. A lot of us have a lot of ideas. A lot of us have a lot of passions that we think we can do or would like to do, but we haven't quite figured out how to monetize them. If you did, you'd already be doing it, or you would be growing it bigger. So I have a formula for this too. This is my Mario's monetization formula, and this is going to help you identify which one of your ideas should you be focused on first. Which one of your ideas is going to give you the highest potential of probable success? So let me break this down for you. The formula reads like this. You're going to write down all of your passions. I'm going to show you the formula, and then you're going to write down the resources needed, and then it's going to show you, the facts are going to show you which idea you should probably go after. So let's jump into it. All right, so this is what the sheet looks like. And again, you can download this sheet by going to neversettle.tv, click on tools, look for the passion formula, monetization formula. But if you look closely at the screen, you'll see that all of your ideas, you can just copy this on a sheet of paper or screenshot it right now. All of your ideas are on the left-hand side. So you would put down, you know, your top 4, 5, 6 ideas that you think you would really like to do, the things that you're passionate about or the things that you've been thinking about launching. You put them on one side of the paper. Then you'll have another column that has at the top, how many resources do you have? What are the resources you have? So you're going to use that. Sorry, I'm trying to draw on here for you a little bit. Here we go. There we go. So you got your, let me undo that. You got your resource, you got your idea over here. You got your resources you have right there. And then you're going to have another column for ease to implement right here. This is the column on how easy is it for you to do these things. The resources column is what kind of resources do you already bring to the table? And then you're going to look at scoring your passion level. How much passion do you have about a particular thing? And then you add all that up, and that gives you your score over here. And the higher the score, the better. So how you rate this is that for each area, you're going to use number 1 for the lowest, meaning you don't have a lot, or you're not passionate, or it's not easy to implement, it's not easy to implement, up to a 5. So you rate each one of these things. So let's go over to the ideas. Here are the ideas. So let's look at these ideas. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different ideas, right? So one of my ideas is that I want to do an audio podcast. Well, I have all the equipment What resources do I have? I got a microphone. I got a computer. I know how to talk. Like, I can produce content. So I have a lot of those resources. So I'm at a 5 for that. How easy is this for me to implement? This is pretty easy. I might need a little bit of help, maybe on some production, maybe on some editing, but it's easy for me to implement. And then what's my passion about it? Well, my passion's at a 3. I would like to do audio, but I really want to do more video. But I can do the audio because it's easy. I'm passionate about it, but I got about a 3 on it, right? So when you add all that together, 5, 4, 9, that gives you the 12 that you see here. Now, if you jump down to the video podcast, you'll see that the video podcast, I only have like about 3 resources for that. I scored that at a 3. It takes a little bit more work. I got to have a camera. Somebody's got to edit it now. A little bit more work. Because of that easy to implement, it's also a 3. But my passion level is super high. It's at the highest. I really want to do video podcasts. I add all that up and I'm at an 11. And as you go down, you'll see like the hardest thing for me to actually implement in this list is an animation series way down here at the bottom. I don't have resources for that. I don't know how to draw. I don't know how to animate. I don't know how to do motion graph. I don't know how to do any of that. It's going to be very hard for me to implement. I don't even have the resources. I got people I can call, but I don't have the resources. And my passion level is kind of high for it because I would love to do an animated series. But as you can see, my score is a 6. So even though like energy wise, I might think the animation series is going to be dope. When I remove my emotion from it and I look at the facts of the numbers here suggest to me that if you really want to start something, Mario, and you really want to have the best chance at success of it actually getting launched and it working, it's not to take the easy way out. It's just to say, these are the things that look the easiest based off of you answering the questions factually. Now, look, I'm not here to say don't do the animation series. If you got the burning desire to do it and you're willing to get the resources, you're willing to learn what you need to learn, you're willing to step up and like really push hard, just know you're going to hit a lot of roadblocks to getting that done, but that shouldn't stop you or deter you if that's what you want to do. I'm not trying to tell you where to spend your energy. What I'm just trying to show you is how you can calculate a formula based off of not having emotion really attached to it. Just let the facts speak for itself. And then you can determine, do you have the intestinal fortitude? Do you have the resiliency to want to push up against these odds? I mean, at the end of the day, when something is important enough, you have to do it even if the odds are against you. Let me repeat that. When something is important enough, you have to do it even if the odds are against you. Only you can know that answer. I'm just giving you the formula to help give you some clarity. All right, let's move on. So let me see if I can kick off this annotation thing. I don't know if I can get that off of here now. Here we go. Annotate, turn that off. Okay, perfect. All right, next step. The next, that stuff's following me now. That's funny. All right, so the next step is I want you to go to the website, to go to neversettle.tv, and on there you will see that we have all these worksheets lined up for you. Which passion do I start first? We explain how you do the grading, how you do that worksheet. You can print that out. There's something called the S-curve. There's something called how to ask in threes. The personal mission statement is on there as well. All of those things are right there for you. Now, in addition to that, I want to go back to one other thing. Let me turn off this annotation and let me give me 1 second to erase all of this. So we can actually make that clear. Okay, cool, thank you. Let's move on. Bam. All right, now the next thing I want to do is show you, let me jump out of this window and show you the website. All right, so what I want to do now is bring up another tool. Let me share that screen to you. Just pull up the desktop here. It's probably the easiest way to do that. So as you can see, the website here has everything for you to download those tools that I mentioned. One of the other tools that I want you to think about during this time is this one right here, a to learn list. One of the things that I want to teach you in this particular session is the fact that you need to make a to learn list, not a to-do list. Your to learn list is going to help you identify, based after you do your personal mission statement that I just taught you. Now you have your clarity on what you need to do. Now you know what you need to level up on. Now you know what skills you need to work on. You need to know, do I need to go watch Mario's YouTube network to go get more content so that I can level up my skills? Do I need to go to watch TED Talks? Do I need to go to a university online like edx.org, edex.org? Y'all know about edX, right? edX has free university classes from Ivy League schools. I'm talking Harvard, MIT, Berkeley, Boston University, so many places on all types of stuff: computer science, language, engineering, business and management. You just click in there and you just start seeing the courses that you want to take. And all of this stuff is free. You can get certificates for some, but lots of great stuff is here. So the point I'm making is you need to create this to learn list, because a to learn list is going to help you focus on how you're scheduling your day, how you're maximizing your time, and what you're learning, so that you can be ready for when this passes, so that you're setting yourself up for success, so that you're coming out of this stronger than when you went into this. And so what I want you to do is create a to learn list. And the reason why is because a to learn list is going to give you accountability. You're going to put down, you're going to download my to learn list. You'll see how I set up my to learn list and what's on it. Like it has 2 columns, basically. One column with what you need to learn, and the other column is how will you learn it. And so I give you an example of what mine is, and then you have your own sheet to fill out for you. So get this to learn list, because it's going to really help you address your weaknesses. It's going to keep you accountable to the stuff that you actually need to get done. And it's going to help you foster more curiosity. It's going to help you experiment more, and it's going to get you educated. Everybody that I'm talking to right now, the biggest word that I keep hearing every single time that I'm doing something is educate, educate, educate. For example, every single day, I'm live at 11 a.m. Eastern time on Instagram Live. I'm live on IG with special guests, giving you advice, tips, and everything to help you monetize right now, to help you build up your life right now, to help you be more fulfilled. Do you know 67% of US Americans are unfulfilled in their careers? I didn't make this up. This is a Deloitte study. 67%, that's almost 7 out of 10 people. So if you're fulfilled, you got to know 6 other people that aren't. Like they always blaming their job, or they're just not happy, or they're just trying to get this check, or they're just waiting for the weekend. They're working to get to the weekend. They can't wait to get out of the office. They're on Wednesday talking about it's 2 days from Friday. You know what I'm talking about? Like unfulfilled, we got into such a routine, and now we have this global reset. And now you have CoronaCon reminding us, like, this is our time to work on our things now. So why go back to that job that you hated? You might not even have that job. It might even be there for you, but why even consider it? Why not use this time now to actually beef up the skills, to get the access to learning? Do you know more people are accessible to you right now than ever before? Do you know that if you hit me up on DM, the chances of me hitting you back is damn near 100%? Do you know if you put down a list of people that you wanted to contact right now, and you started figuring out how you could get their email addresses, or that you started figuring out how to DM them, that you could probably get some responses? Maybe not from everybody, but even if you got 2, maybe you need to talk to somebody that's already in an industry you're trying to go into. Maybe you need to talk to an investor without asking them for investment right now. Maybe you just want to talk to them about how you can prepare your pitch. You understand what I'm saying? Like, this is a different time that you have been given, and everybody's on the same pause button and in this new normal. So it's on you to now use this to your advantage. So I want you to go to neversettle.tv, to our website, download these tools, and make sure you become a part of the Never Settle family, because we're not playing around, and we want to see you grow. All right. And we want to see you on our YouTube channel at Never Settle Network. And I want to see you on my Instagram lives every single day. So hit the notifications, follow me for live streaming, but go to @Mario Armstrong on IG and catch me 11 a.m. Eastern time every single day there. All right. Now, with that being said, I want to jump over to any questions you may have right now. Let me go back to the presentation and jump here and go here. And I'm not sure if I can't tell how we're going to be taking live questions, or even if we have them.
Oh, I got you, bro.
Oh, okay.
I got you. So when you were starting, what was the one thing you wanted to do that seemed impossible at the time, and how did you make it happen?
When I was starting, what seemed impossible at the time was being able to convince other people of my idea of wanting to go on television. And the way I kind of got around that was twofold. One, I decided to, instead of trying to focus solely on TV, I focused on radio instead. Radio had a little bit of an easier access. Radio needed programming. And I had saw an ad in a newspaper that said, host your own radio show. So I was like, oh, let me call this AM station, this little AM station in Maryland. Called them up. They wanted to charge me for a half hour. I found some sponsors, paid for the half hour, and I did a half hour live radio talk show every Thursday in the middle of the day, racing from my day job, which was about 20 minutes away from the radio station. I would eat my lunch in the car, jump out at the radio station with like 5 minutes to go on air, do the show, jump back in the car and get back to work, always like 10, 15 minutes late from lunch on Thursdays. That was the hustle. And once I did that, I was like, oh, I'm on this little station with 15,000 watts, but real stations got 100,000 watts, 150,000 watts. How do I get bigger audiences? And so what I then did is I got onto FM radio and got onto public radio. And then I used that. See, action creates reaction. And if you have a game plan, I had a game plan. I was clear. I wanted to get to TV. I had a game plan of, I'm gonna use this radio to convince the TV people that what I'm doing on radio can be done on television. And then I didn't ask for money. Too many people are asking for money up front on something that you haven't even proven your value for yet. And so I use this formula called from free to fee. So for me, I wanted to get on TV, but not just in my local market. I wanted to get on TV in the local market to prepare me to get on national markets. So I was like, I got a day job. How can I hustle this? I got money coming in from the day job. How can I hustle this? Oh, I know, remove objections. Don't say this is what it's gonna cost you. Say, I wanna come onto your TV station for free. Once a week, every Thursday morning, Mario's gonna do Tech Tip Thursdays. We can talk about technology to fill in your audience. They were like, what, for real? Okay, perfect, every Thursday. No money, no nothing, handshake agreement, went in. Every Thursday, I had to wake up at 5 a.m. to be on air by 7. I do my thing at like 7:30 in the morning live on TV. And then I pack up my technology stuff that I took to the studio, one-man show, just me, put it in the car, get my butt to work by 8:30. And that was my routine. Rain, sleet, snow, blizzard, dark as night, dark as hell. Like, it didn't matter. I had to be there because I committed to being on live news. But you know what that taught me? I did that for like 3 years, no fee. Just building, learning. Then I convinced them to let me do a weekend show. I convinced them to say, you know that little segment we do on Thursdays? Yeah, I like to do a 30-minute segment on the weekends. Oh, yeah, well, we can shoot that while they got downtime in the newsroom because they're not doing nothing. They just waiting for news. So you can use the studio. Okay, y'all okay if I go sell some sponsors so I can try to make some money? So boom, now I'm turning it into a fee. Then I use that video and I use all that stuff to make my reel. And then I start pitching and start putting it out there to try to get on the Today Show or GMA or Dr. Oz or Steve Harvey. And that enabled me to show proof that I was doing something. The people don't know if I'm getting paid or not. They just see me on TV. So that free to fee is what really worked for me. And I think the hardest thing about doing that was really trying to figure out how to convince people that you could bring them value and how you can do it without looking for any money and how you can really bring them more value than they think it's bringing you. They didn't know what I was getting. They may have thought that they were using me. It's okay if other people think they're using you. We get too caught up in our ego. Let them use you if you know why you're being used. So that's what I would say to that.
Yeah, a lot of people say that was fire right there, bro. What do you say to someone who says, well, it's easy for you to say, but I don't have a team?
Yo, you are on point, man. That's why I love you, man, because you're such a thinker. You're such an intellectual and a creative genius, and you're just really smart with this. But that question right there really hits to the reason why I'm really taking a pause on that question is because that's the type of question that so many people suffer from, and it's a legit question to ask because it always looks easier if you haven't been with someone during their journey. If you haven't seen me talking about how I got rejected. If you haven't seen me when I was on Periscope 2 years ago, literally crying on live streaming, talking about, because it was frustration that was building up, talking about how hard it is to get your dream out there. And so when you see like end results, it's harder for you to understand the pain and the suffering that somebody went through. So my answer to that is, the very first thing that we did as a company is we reinvest any profit back into the company. You got to know what your bills are. You got to know what you have to pay to survive. But too many people have a lot of things that they need to cut and not subscribe to bring down those costs. But the first thing you have to do, you're only one person. So you're either a control freak and you need to try to work on yourself about being too controlling, like only you can do it the right way so no one else can do it. That's only going to get you so far. Just realize that at that point, you are going to have what I call a lifestyle business where it's just solely about you. You might have a virtual assistant, but that's about as far as you're going to go. You have to start to immediately hire people that have your weaknesses as their strengths. Mm-hmm. So my business partner, my wife, Nicole, we call her CEO Nicole, she, had a ton of other strengths that were my weaknesses. At first, she didn't want to go into business with me. She was doing fine. She had a 6-figure salary. She was good. She was the COO of 2 other companies, 2 other startups. So I had to convince her that I don't have the skill set that she has. And in order for this thing to really grow, I have to either have her or someone like her that can deal with legal, that can come up with economic models, that can understand how to price my value, take me out of the pricing equation. The first thing I did that I think was very successful, that we did, I should say, really, that was very successful, is enable someone else that you trust to handle your sales. Like, let me make myself clear. I sell, and I'm the best salesman for my company. You have to be the best salesperson for your company. But when it comes to the numbers, you should get out of the way. So you should pitch, you should sell, you should get people hyped up, you should get them excited, you should let them see your value, you should let them understand why they should do business with you. And then when they say how much, that's when you say, oh, I only talk about the vision and the goals and the value of what I can bring you, but my business partner handles the money part. Because then they can fight. It's good cop, bad cop. Then they can fight for the best deal possible for you without you being involved or getting tarnished in that. And you just got to make sure you and your partner are on the same page, or that you're giving them a commission or a percentage or something like that. But all I'm saying is reinvest. So if that means hiring a virtual assistant to get you started, the very first thing you need to do is hire people that can either generate income for you or take things off your plate that enable you to generate more income for yourself. So what I would suggest you do is look at your daily activities, find those things that are super redundant, that take a lot of time off your plate, outsource those. Or immediately hire someone that can generate income, i.e. a salesperson. But that's how you build a team. You can't do this solo. So you have to work on this solo until you can build it so that you can start to hire. But the minute you get a little bit of profit or the minute you start getting any income, you got to start hiring people right away.
Definitely. All right. So Felicia, who is in the book development and publishing business, says, how do you gain how do you gain publicity for your business? How can you pitch when you're not very well known? I've seen people offering to help you get on locally, but what's a good strategy?
This is a tough one because a lot of people struggle with this. The first thing I always say is go local first. And it sounds like she already understands that. Go local first to get as much. You want to prove that you can handle national press. A lot of people want to get national media attention, but the national producers, they're going to want to see, like, what have you done before? Or they're going to want to look at, like, do you have any video of yourself? Have you spoken somewhere? Like, they need to know what they're about to put on their airwaves. So the first thing you need to do is try to get on locally so that you can get a copy of that video and make that your reel. Now that becomes something that's official. You've been on a local affiliate, you've been on local TV, or you've been on somebody's blog or site that's really well respected, and you got video to prove it. Now you're going to use that reel to pitch your idea. But here's the thing. Too often people are pitching what it is you want to talk about and what you are close to. But what you really need to be thinking about is the audience that you're pitching to. The producer can get 1 million of you. You got a great book? Okay, I got a million other people that got a great book. Why your book for my audience? Why your voice for my audience? The following doesn't matter as much as the uniqueness of the pitch. You can have a low following if you have a very unique angle. So the challenge is for you to really dig hard and to ask yourself, what's the unique angle that I bring to the table? The other most important thing is, how relevant is this angle now? So a lot of times you got to pay attention to the news cycle. So right now, how does your book play a role? How does your product, how does your service play a role in this new normal that we're living in? Does it do something for distance learning? Does this help kids read something? Is this something that teachers could be using as curriculum? Is this just a good way to read something that can get past the time in an effective way? Like, is this something about health? Is this something about overcoming fear? Like, how can you make your thing relevant to the news cycle? So in order to do that, guess what? You got to pay attention to the news cycle. And then I'm gonna show you something that's really dope. And then after you do that part, you got to know how to pitch them. And when you get to pitching, which is in my next segment, I'm going to be talking a little bit about that. But let me just show you something real quick here. I want you all to check out a site that I use called Voila Norbert. Now I'm giving you a secret gem right here. I'm giving you one of my bomb gems. And this is a email finder. There are several different ones. I use this one mostly. There's another one I use, but this one is called Voila Norbert. Very hard to spell, but VOILA NORBERT. You get 50 leads for free per month. But what you do is you basically type in the person's first name, and you type in, their first and last name, and then you type in their domain name of their website. And then you click enter. And I would say 6 out of 10 times, I'll get a hit. Like, I'll get the right address for that person I'm trying to reach. So right now, you might be thinking, how am I going to pitch this? Who am I going to pitch it to? So this is all the other research you got to do. Who are the producers? You got to do some Googling, find out who produces, what shows, and then drop their names into this thing to try to find them. Hit them up on DM and Instagram. Hit them in the comments on Instagram. Hit them on LinkedIn. But make sure that your pitch is very unique. Make sure that you have something that if you can't get on local TV, don't stop that from pitching. But just make sure you have a very unique perspective and make sure that it's very relevant and timely.
Wow, that's a good question. It's a good answer. Let's see here. Alicia, who has a vegan-based business, says, what advice do you have for learning to be a better seller?
Whoa, easy. This is a great question, Felicia. Don't sell. Teach. Let me say that again. Don't sell. Teach. Now, let me break this down. A lot of people don't like the word sell. A lot of people don't like to think that they're selling because they think it's sleazy. It's been associated with like getting a used car, and that's like not going to ride well after 3 weeks. So like the real deal is a lot of people shy away from the very thing that can actually give them the business and their revenue that they need, and that is to sell. And when you're running your business, you got to know how to sell your business. So if you are not comfortable selling, 2 options. Number 1, start taking selling courses. Just stop right now, search and take some selling courses. You have to learn how to sell. There are some formulas, tools, strategies, and advice that has been proven over years on how you can sell effectively, how you can negotiate effectively, how you can position yourself in the right way, how to use psychology of influence to get people to understand your vision and to want to share in that vision, to support you, to then sponsor or pay or buy your product or service. So taking legit selling courses on how to sell from bona fide companies or organizations is one. The other option is, okay, Mario, I'm comfortable talking about what it is I do. I don't mind like selling somebody on what I make or what I build or my vegan food or my shop or my restaurant, but I don't feel right doing it. In those cases, I would say it's time for you to learn how to teach. So don't think of you selling, think of you teaching. So when you approach a client, think of that client on how you're teaching them on what your product delivers in terms of value for them. Not how do I sell them? Because see, when you do that, it changes the intent. And that's what makes you feel kind of like, I feel like I'm, talking too much about myself. Don't talk about, teach. So in other words, there was a guy that was, there's a person I was working with, a company I was working with who sells mindful bracelets. They make these bracelets, mindful bracelets. He can't stand selling. He thinks it's like sleazy, but he's got to sell his bracelets, right? So he's trying to use like social media and stuff so that he doesn't have to like directly sell. And I said, you're not teaching. I said, instead, what I want you to do is teach me why your vegan food is special. Teach me why these bracelets help me have mindfulness. What about these stones? What about these pieces in the middle? What is significant about this particular bracelet and all the other bracelets you make? Why? Why would this one connect? Oh, this one works more with my chi and the flow of my energy. Oh, that one is a different stone that helps me reduce some of my stress and my angst. Or that one is an interactive one that every day when I have something good happen, I can slide a bead down. Like, teach me about these bracelets, about the mindfulness. So teach me about vegan. Teach me about the food. Teach me about the benefits of going vegan. Teach me about the recipes. Like, teach, and you're selling. Because then people want to hire you for the expertise. It's not about what you want to pitch to someone. It's about what someone can learn from what you're teaching them that turns you into a salesperson.
So what is it? Like, can you walk someone through the process? And I know you're about to get into this when it comes to pitching the media, so I don't want to get to that part. The part I really want to talk about is, what does it look like when you get there? Like, what kind of prep work do you do ahead of time? Woo! How much time do you spend, coming up with things? Like, what does it look like? They say yes. What do you do?
So are you talking about like before they said yes?
No, I'm talking about because I don't know if you're going to go over this. Yeah. After they say yes, like the first time I walked into a TV station where I wasn't working.
Yeah.
It's a different ball game than when you're working there. And it's old hat because different producers want different things. So can you walk people into what it actually looks like versus what they think they look like? Because there's a level of anxiety that you and I no longer have because we do this all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. I think if I can answer that, if I understand that question correctly, I think, what it looks like is worse than what it is. There is this, like you mentioned, feeling of anxiety, feeling of the unknown. When anything is unknown, you have a level of uncertainty that is going to create a certain level of anxiety or worry. And what I would say is channel that energy. Like, understand that you're going to have this nervous energy, and then use that nervous energy and change the word from being nervous to being excited. You're excited about this opportunity. You're excited about this yes. You're excited for what could happen. And then you can channel your answers, your demeanor, your responses a lot smoother and a lot cleaner. And I would say, a lot of times we ask ourselves, because we are wired neurologically, this is brain science, this is neuroscience, we are wired to understand what we haven't accomplished, or what we think we're weak at, or what could go wrong in a situation. We're wired that way because our brain is wired to protect us from harm. And if we see something new, or a new opportunity, or a new challenge, or a new sales pitch, or when someone says yes and we get that nervousness and it's like, oh my God, this thing is actually going to happen. And you start the what ifs, what if. We just covered this on our just recent episode that dropped yesterday on the Never Settle Network, episode 2. Go check this out. Because the question that I pose to everyone is, we always ask ourselves, what if it doesn't work? What if they think I'm a fraud? What if they think I'm an imposter? Like, what if I don't deliver? You're into future thought. You haven't even done anything yet. You're already worried about what could go wrong. The real question to ask yourself is, what if it works? What if you do hit it out of the park? What if they do love what you bring to the table? What if the value does connect? What if your idea does work? If you focus more on the what if, on the flip side of what could actually happen if it does work, use that energy to move you forward. And you no longer are worrying about what might not happen. You're worried about what could happen. And that changes the whole demeanor. So I think when you operate like that and you put that kind of mindset and perspective in play, to me, your actions have to match your ambition. Like what you are trying to go after, your actions need to match that. Otherwise, you're just dreaming. So we need to be putting these things in place so that when we do get that yes, we're ready, we're set. And oh, by the way, when we get that no, we don't take the no as the first no. A lot of times people go into a situation and they'll get that no and they'll be so relieved. Okay, good. All right, I just wanted to pitch this thing, and okay, so y'all said no, it's too pricey right now, or wrong time, or just not right fit. Okay, all right, thanks. And you walk out because it took everything in you to get to that pitch moment that you're just happy to get the no. And what I teach people is that you have to get no's 3 times in that same meeting. So what you have to say is why. Why is it too pricey? What about it is too pricey? Or why is this not the right time? If they say something like, oh, because the event that we're doing is 3 months out. Oh, okay. When do you start making decisions on the event? Oh, well, you're early, so we don't really start talking about this or making decisions about this for another month. Okay, so can we schedule me to come back in another month so we can talk about, see what I'm saying? Like, oh, okay, yeah, we can schedule that. In the meantime, what did you see in this presentation that you felt could be beefed up? And I can work on that, no pun intended. And I can work on that in the meantime. So that's how dealing with rejection and also dealing with the yes, because a lot of people get to the yes and then they lock up and freeze. So know what you're asking and praying for. You're telling the universe what you want. The universe is presenting it to you. Your God, your spirit, your higher power is presenting it to you. You got to walk through that door. That's all there is to it. It's nobody else's job to chase your dreams but you. Period. End of story. I hope that gives a little clarity. At the end of the day, don't try to beat yourself up to make things perfect. People just want to see your potential. And a lot of times perfectionism is slowing us down for not taking action. So too many of us are being paralyzed as opposed to being proactive because we're worried about, is it perfect? Is it going to be seen right? When we first did our show, we did our show in a tech company's lobby, and we tried to make it the perfect thing that we could make it into as much as possible. Now our show is in Times Square in a multi-million-dollar studio at NASDAQ. So it takes time. It took us 2 years to get to that. But we didn't care what it looked like before. We were trying to make great content. So you have to know that not everything can be perfect. Uber did not start off the way it did. You know how Uber started? Uber started with you calling a phone number. You had a card that you were given. It was all passed around kind of secretly back then. You were given a card. On that card was a phone number. You would call that phone number. The phone number would send you to a call center for Uber. Uber would pick up and they'd be like, Uber, hello, where do you need a car? And you'd be like, I'm on the corner of 5th and 34th. And they'd be like, okay, we'll have a car to you in 15 minutes. It'll be a black Lincoln sedan. And then they hang up. In 15 minutes, the black Lincoln sedan would show up. They would ask, are you John? They'd be like, yep, you hop in. They would already know where you're going to. All they did was call black car services that were available to come pick you up. They didn't have a fleet. They didn't have individual drivers. They called black car companies that were already in existence and just charged the money to flip it's incredible. Now it's an app. Now people are driving. So my point is, it was never perfect. It was sloppy. You got to get your start. Hope that helps.
No, that was great. So I have another question here. This question says, I am a relationship coach, and part of what I do is educate people, because you said teach, educate people on how to have better relationships. Should I be monetizing information-based trainings and resources?
So this is a delicate situation for me. So it sounds like, okay, so let's break this down. Mm-hmm. There are 2 ways to increase and build and grow your business. One is 3 ways. One is you acquire new clients, new money. 2, that's a lot of work, by the way, and you get a lot of churn. Second way is to upgrade your existing clients. So you have clients that come in, they're getting your coaching from you. Now you might start creating some premium things. And those premium things are upgrades. specific for them or for that audience, but they're premium because there's way more value in those things than what you are normally giving them on a coaching basis or on a regular basis. And then you have the ability to acquire new clients, upgrade existing ones, or cross-sell. Cross-sell means you have more than one product that a client could buy or purchase from you. So maybe one product is a coaching call. Maybe one product is your ebook. Maybe another product is your events. So these are the three different ways that you can monetize your business. When you have existing clients, they are the most probable to either upgrade or cross purchase, buy another product from you at a different price point, more so than acquiring new clients. And the big misnomer is a lot of people think you got to go and get new clients in order to really build your business. But the fastest way to build your business is to upgrade the existing clients that are already spending money with you, that already have faith in you, that already have trust. And so what happens is we end up chasing new clients so much that we aren't upgrading or cross-selling really well to our existing base. And then they don't get the attention, and then some of them drop off. So to answer this question, I would say information-based programming, content, and tools, if it's something that is of premium value, only you can know. If they can Google this and get it off the web, that's not good enough. It's got to be something unique that you're bringing to the table that's deeper than something that they can just get anywhere for free. So if you know what that is, then absolutely you can sell those upgrades. But it has to really show a level of sophistication, a level of depth, or a level of accessibility that wasn't there before. And so for coaches who have to, in order to monetize and build, you're only one person. So the easiest way for you to grow your coaching business is one of two things. You either have some level of success proven, and then you train the trainer, you teach other coaches how they can be successful like you. That's one option. And or, because you can do both, and or you develop other products that are within your skill set of relationship building, relationship management, and fulfilling relationships. What are those other products? Have you done an event? Have you done a romantic series? Have you done maybe only a 10 couple getaway? So it's easy to manage, but it's highly intimate. You know, are you doing coaching calls that people are paying for that one-on-one advice? Are you offering up free tools and resources now via YouTube or a podcast where you're just hitting them with so much value, free, that then when you hit them and say, hey, I now have this course is going to cost you $189, or this course is going to cost you $2,000, does it back that up? And so my question to you is, you know, just make sure that your product or the idea that you're looking to create as a premium or something that you're going to sell is something that just can't easily be Googled.
Word, that's dope. So listen, man, I know we don't have a lot of time, so I definitely want you to get into sponsorships and securing them.
Yeah, man, I'm ready for this. Let's do this. All right, this is a big one. This is a different topic here on how to sell sponsorships. And I really would like to get your questions on this. So I'm going to keep it brief because this is very simple stuff. Really, it's a lot of hard work, but it's very simple. Sponsorships equates to revenue. Sponsorship equates to paying for your pilots, paying for your prototypes, paying for your ideas. Sponsorship is about two things: being able to believe in you, the person that is in front of this product or service, and then also believing that your product or service has some merit or value for their audience or for them personally. That's really what it boils down to. So your job is to have that clarity and understanding of, okay, who aligns well with what I'm building? So let me show you the 4 things that sponsors look for in any deal, and then show you how you need to align yourself with one or more of these 4 things. And that's going to put you in a position to start to understand how to create your pitch, who you're creating it for, what that deck should look like, a pitch deck, your presentation, what that should look like. You'll hear me say the word deck often. What that will look like, and how you can think of creative ways to present it. So let's go into the first thing. Sponsors want one of four things. I'm gonna let you look at these for a second. They want brand exposure, alignment, leadership authority, or conversion. Some may want multiple. Some have different departments, depending on how big the company is, that cover different things. But everybody in marketing or every brand wants to have one of these four things for them. Now your job is to understand what piece of this, or which one of these things, or multiple of these things, can you contribute to? So let me break this down. Brand exposure is a brand just wants to be seen. So they're looking for impressions. They're looking for a lot of views. They're just looking to be seen in multiple places over and over. It's very important for their brand, their logo, their motto to just be seen. Alignment is more like, I want to be aligned with you because of your purpose, because of your service. So a vegan restaurant would definitely would not align well with anyone that's about meat and beef, right? Like that's not going to be in alignment. So in Impossible Burgers, or you know, I'm drawing a blank, and I you know, working with a company like Gardein, where I get some of my vegan food from, like having that alignment because you're about veganism, or you have a vegan restaurant. They just want to be aligned with you because it makes the most sense for their product or service to be seen in association with you. So for example, right now I'm trying to put together a pitch for Cadillac, and we're all on quarantine. And I just hit my son up and I was like, yo, you know what we're gonna do? I was like, we're gonna go outside on a sunny day. We're gonna go wash the car, and we're gonna show Cadillac that I actually own a Cadillac. And we're gonna take a little coupe, and we're gonna shoot video on our iPhone, or maybe we'll use the Sony camera, not too sure yet. And we're gonna shoot this little video, and I'm gonna use it as a way to kind of convince Cadillac. Number one, I bought the product. I have the product. This isn't a rental. This is my car. I got tinted windows on it. Like, it's not a rental. Like, this is real, right? So I have my messaging. I've been studying what Cadillac has been putting out. I've been studying how they want to reach people that want to aspire. See what I'm getting at? Their brand exposure has taught me that they are looking to get aligned with people that want to level up their life. They see Cadillac as something that helps you level up, an aspirational brand. So I'm like, oh, let's shoot an aspirational video. I'm gonna do it for like 20 seconds. And then I'm gonna put that in front of my Never Settle show promo, which is like 30 seconds. So I'm gonna send them this thing that's less than a minute. And I'm gonna be like, I made a social ad for you. I'd love to release this. I don't want any money. I made a social ad for you. I want to release this. They're gonna be like, wait, this dude's got a Cadillac. This dude shot this video. He edited it together. And then he put it in front of his show, which is all about aspirational pursuits of your passion. It's in complete alignment. Now, they may not bite, but that's the game set and the mindset that I'm taking while I got quarantine. I would normally not have that amount of time really to do that. I'd figure it out, but it had to get scheduled in. Now I can actually do this and think about it. So alignment is important. The other one is leadership authority. When you do events, when you do conferences, if you have a restaurant, you have guest speakers come in, a brand wants leadership authority. They want to be seen as a leader in their space. So how can your product or service provide a vehicle to position them as a leader in their space? When we do our stuff and Capital One sponsors it, it's not just that Capital One is sponsoring our stuff because they see value in it. Sure, they see value in it, but it's also because they want the brand exposure. It's also because the stories that we're telling about what Capital One is doing in the community through programs like Dress for Success, programs like the kids program they do for coders. All these programs are in alignment with who we are as the Never Settle Show, which is all about helping dreamers dream and helping people pursue their greatness and giving them the tools and the advice to get there. So that alignment is locked in. Then they get the leadership authority because it shows up, this show sponsored by or supported by Capital One. Boom. Thank you, Capital One. As a viewer, I'm watching this show called The Never Settle Show, and it's giving me great content. And then I find out, oh, Capital One is the one that supported this? Man, that's a good look, Capital One. We appreciate that. We've had people leave their banks and go to Capital One just because they've been seen as a supporter of this show. So that's leadership authority. And then the last one, which can be the trickiest, is conversion. These are brands that are looking for you to specifically get something sold for them. So they want you to take a product and sell it. They want you to take a link and put a code on it and be trackable on what your impact is delivering in terms of other people converting into a customer. That either means they're acquiring an email or some other personal database information, or they're acquiring a customer that actually bought their product. So it could be something that's even like, a discount driven thing or not. Like, so one thing that we have right now with Zenni, all my eyewear is sponsored by Zenni. All my eyewear. I'm on TV, I'm on video, I'm in YouTube videos, I'm doing stuff all the time. I'm always out. I'm at events, I'm at conferences, I'm speaking, I'm like, I love eyewear. Eyewear is me. I like to be fashionable with my eyewear. I need to find an eyewear sponsor. But how do I find not just any eyewear sponsor? How do I find one that's aligned with my values? When someone asks me, Mario, where you get your glasses from? I want them to be able to go and get the glasses too. Maybe not the same ones, but I want them to be able to afford them. I was paying $300, $400, $500 on glasses before. Now I'm paying less than $100. So now I have multiple pair, different colors, different shapes, different things, wear for different outfits. My point is, you can get Zenni eyewear starting at $695 if you don't even care about the fashion. Like prescription eyewear, they don't have stores. They don't have all that markup. So this was great for me. Oh, I found an online provider of eyewear where I can go online, it can take my picture, or it can look at me in video and virtual, and I can start adding glasses on my face and see what it looks like. I was like, this is done. So then when I pitched them, they were like, this is great, this is done. Took us 6 months to close the deal. Took Nicole a long time to close the deal, but it got closed. So the alignment was there. The brand exposure, we're giving them that through the show and through our social media. And the conversion part is that we're allowing people to get 15% off if they use Never Settle when they check out. So these are what brands look for, and these are what the sponsors are looking for. And this income, this revenue, they have to spend it somewhere. So you want to really think about, do I need to be charging individuals, for every little thing that you're putting out there? And for certain things, yes, charge people if they're willing to pay. But the other thing is, don't just look at spending your energy just on individuals as a source of income. Start really thinking about the brands that align well with your business. I've heard Felicia say she was a relationship counselor or a relationship coach. Okay, what brands are into relationships? I mean, you can go as far as like KY Jelly. If you want to go there, you can go KY Jelly, right? But you can go all the way over to restaurants that have romantic dinners, right? StubHub, who does romantic getaways and events. Like you have to really think about like, what do my clients need, use, benefit from, and who are those companies that have those products and services? That starts the alignment conversation. Because once you're in alignment, which it has to start there, then everything else, like alignment should really be number one. I don't have this in any order, but alignment should be the first thing. Because if you don't have alignment, it's not worth going into. You got to have alignment first, then these other things come into play. So these are what the sponsors look for. Now, I want to show you a couple of deck samples. These are our presentation samples. I'm going to show you exactly some of the tools that we use and the template that we use. I'm going to show you the website, and I'm going to show you something that we're doing brand new due to quarantine. This is us being proactive and thinking about how can we use this time to benefit other people. So every single day, as I mentioned, I do an 11 a.m. Eastern time live Instagram series. It's called Never Settle Live. So we have our regular show, Never Settle Show. We got the network, Never Settle Network on YouTube, where you can get all my content. And now we've introduced Never Settle Live because I felt that we as a team, I needed to go live every single day to help people build their dream while they're in quarantine. So I'm gonna show you how when we're just about to start selling sponsorships for that. Oh, so let me show you the deck examples first. Let's jump on over to there. All right, so here's an example of a deck. This is exactly, let's go full screen here. This is exactly the deck that was used, here we go, for Zenny. Let me see if I can move us. Can I move us? Move up tool there. Maybe put us up here. Like so. Okay, let's just do that. All right, there you go. So this is Zenny. So what we proposed to Zenny was that we would do this live digital series. We'd have them in our podcast, and we'd also do some events and stuff with them. Basically, we created a template. This is the same template. We would change these logos out that you see on the screen for any other brand. We'd change these out. This is not just a placeholder. This is NASDAQ, the building in NASDAQ. And we are fortunate that we have access to this resource to be, as part of our show, to be able to put our content up a couple of times and sponsors content up. So we bake that into the presentation. Let me go down a little bit into the presentation. There's my man Damon talking about how we won an Emmy. He was giving us a shout out for winning an Emmy. And then we get into what Mario Armstrong and the company and Never Settle Productions is all about. We also get quickly into what Zenny is all about. So see this alignment? Remember I talked about alignment? Look at Zenny's statement about themselves. Read that. Read that. Go ahead. I'm pouring myself more tea. They are all about making people feel confident, powerful, and beautiful with styles and things that they can actually afford to make them feel incredible. This is straight from their website. So what we then tell them is, we're all about that too. Whether you're pursuing a passion or trying to advance your career, we are the show for boosting your confidence, your self-image, and celebrating doers. And Mario loves fashion. His eyewear and his sneakers are what he's known for. So he can also give a little bit of fashion advice as it relates to those two things. So that's the alignment right off the bat, done. Then you talk a little bit about the show, who you want to be on it, what it's about, whatever your product is. You talk about your restaurant, you talk about your coaching services, you talk about whatever it is, your book, your deal, whatever it is. And then you break it down. All you're answering is who, what, when, where, why, and how. So what is the Never Settle Show and who is Mario? Boom, we break that down. Here's who Mario is. Here's who the show is. Here's some other people that are involved. And here's some of the credibility of the show. Then you get into, here's what you get by hooking up with us. We can get you on the NASDAQ tower. We can get you on these marquee screens outside. We can make you a part of our networking event. We have a networking event before the show. We got people hanging out at the show. We got people hanging out on the set. So we can have your product in the lobby before the show starts. And then inside the show, we tell them, you know, we could do a segment like called Do What You Love, where that segment is brought to you by Zenny. Or we could do a Zenny moment, maybe just a 30-second spot where we highlight a few customers that just got some Zennies. Or maybe we do a Zenny giveaway and some gift bags. So there's a ton of different ways, product placement, all different types of things we could do. We could put your logo up on the wall, on set, so it can be seen throughout the show. All types of ideas, right? And then we're telling them where people would see this stuff, where it would be, Facebook, Twitter, Roku, like where would you be able to watch it? And then we even included a TV piece, since we know the TV business. We were like, hey, we can even go on, Mario can even go on morning television in these markets and get you a ton of impressions and a ton of brand exposure. And then we tell them, here's who our show reaches. You know, mostly women that are entrepreneurial, that are successful, that want to level up. Women love glasses, love eyewear, right? Self-employed, 71%. You know, so we're showing them, here's who we reach and here's who we can get access to. And oh, by the way, we got a podcast too. So we can do an ad read at the beginning of my podcast saying, wake up and level up is brought to you by Zenny Eyewear. It's the same eyewear that you always see me wearing out on the street. I love this eyewear. It doesn't break. And at $6.95, prices start so low, you can get multiple pair. The pairs that I buy cost me closer to 100 when everything is said and done, but they work, they're beautiful, and they've lasted me for a couple of years, like whatever my line is or whatever the talking point. And then I go into my podcast. And then we also were pitching them on the summit that we were hosting, like an event. So this is what the deck looked like. And then we gave them a full list of all the opportunities. Here's what you get before the show starts. Here's what you get when we're in the show. And here's what you can do after the show. So we listed out all these possibilities. And then what most brands do is that they cut and paste, or they pull certain things they like and certain things they don't like. And then you get to something that's a little bit more customized for them. And then we don't stop there. The last thing we do is we hit them in the head with the proof. Hey, look, I know you're hearing this pitch for the first time. I know you haven't seen this pitch before, but let me show you what happened when we worked with FedEx. When we had FedEx Office, here's what we saw impact them. And boom, we did a survey to our audiences pre and post show. And what we found, and we did this through a third party, what we found is that 87% people feel more positive about FedEx Office after watching the show. We found that 80.7% are more likely or much more likely to use FedEx Office when needing services. So that tells FedEx like, oh, damn. Like, okay, he's actually educating our audience and they're feeling good that we're sponsoring this thing, and he's doing it in a way that it's actually having a very good, what we call brand lift against our brand. That's helping lift that brand up. All right, so this is how it all works, people. This is how it goes down in the sponsorship space. This is what a deck looks like. And then the other thing that you need to be prepared to present before you get into a full-on deck, many of you may need to start here first, and that is to just make what is called a one-sheeter. Now, a one-sheeter is just that. Basically a one-sheet. It could be 2 pages, but no more than that. That communicates very simply what you're about and what you're trying to accomplish. So as you can see on this one, this is Mario Armstrong, Never Settle. We're clearly doing a big picture here of the show. We're also showing that there are people in the audience, so that there's a live show. You get that already. You see that energy that he's presenting. Okay, so this must have some energy. Then it goes into pursue your passion, life lived, dreams realized. Talks a little bit about who I am, and then goes into more about the show and what the show is actually about. It's a weekly series and short form clips on YouTube, professionally shot, 25-minute episodes with topics on self-help, finance, achieving goals, monetizing your passion, health and wellness, reaching millennials and Gen Z. We also reach Gen X too. And then how there are opportunities for title sponsorship, segment sponsorship, product placement, social content, in-studio activations. And then we just, give them a few picks. But that's it. And then we drop my salesperson on the joint. So a one-sheeter is just that, a one sheet to help you with making your presentation. So you got to have these materials in order to really present yourself so that you can go in asking for the dollar signs that you really would like to achieve. So now the new thing I want to show you that we're working on, and then we'll take some questions, is this right here. So this is what we're doing now with my Instagram Live series. So I'm bringing on special guests and I'm doing my own sessions. And as you can see, what we've come up with is a template for Instagram, specifically for Instagram Live. We had to work on creating a template that would actually capture me in a picture, which is an Instagram Live feature that a lot of people don't use. And then we're able to put some some topical information like who my guest is, what today's topic is. But look at that beige section. Look at the beige section. Never Settle Live, the Build Your Dream series, supported by Macari. Sell your stuff, make extra cash, Macari.com. Boom. That's going to be there for 90% of that live stream. If you look at the one on the right with my boy from Earn Your Leisure, Troy Millings, Never Settle Live, Build Your Dream series, supported by Zenny. Save 15%. Just go to zenny.com/Mario. Boom, that stays there on my Instagram Live. And then look what I also did in the comment. Look at the comments. See what comment I pinned? Mario's eyewear glasses by Zenny. That can stay on the chat, pinned the whole time. So we have now just put these two things into a one sheet, basically a simple email with these graphics saying Mario would like for you to be a week-long sponsor for his Instagram Live series. Here's the amount of people he potentially reaches through this. And here's how we're going to take the Instagram content that we shoot on Instagram, that we shoot through IG, but then we're also going to cut it and put it up on YouTube and make it available there. And here's what the potential reach is for that. And here's what we want to sell it for. So this is the way that you figure out the value. So right now, let me break down why this is important, because the alignment, right? And I talked about being relevant. Macari is relevant right now. Macari's competitor is eBay. What can people do right now? People can go around their house, start grabbing things that were maybe their junk is someone else's treasure, and can start taking pictures and posting all that stuff up. You can make it easy, $500 a month, maybe $2,000 a month, depending on what you have. You might have some great clothes. You might have an old computer. You might have something that you just want to get rid of. Like Macari is in competition with eBay. They do it all through their phone. And I've worked with Macari in other areas, so there's kind of like a warm relationship. So now I'm saying, hey, everybody is home and people need money more than ever. So why aren't we doing something to remind them that they can be going around the house? You can get the kids involved, start taking pictures of stuff, start posting it, and start selling it and getting that money. So this is a very relevant pitch right now. Now on the Zenny side, it's relevant for Zenny because I'm always wearing eyewear in my pieces. So for them, the alignment's already there. Plus they already sponsor the show. So now, remember what I said? Upgrade your existing clients or cross-sell them into other products. This is the exact example that I'm hoping that you're seeing of how that can evolve. So don't sleep on that sponsorship money is my point. Really start thinking about your service, your product, and the companies and the brands that align well with your audience that you're reaching. All you got to do is matchmake. All you got to do is be the conduit. You got to tell L'Oreal, I can get you people that care about makeup. All you got to do is tell, Starbucks, my podcast is called Wake Up and Level Up. People want coffee in the morning. They want to sip their coffee with my podcast, right? Like you have to start thinking about how you can contextually connect the brands that already have a pot of money to spend on why they should spend some of that money with you to reach who you reach. So I hope that makes sense, but that's the get down on how you can really get your hustle on as it relates to sponsorship dollars. So I'm available to all of you. That's why I put my IG on there. Please follow me on IG, sign up for my notifications. I'm live every single day at 11 a.m. Everything I do is free, y'all. I'm not charging y'all for this. So, I hope that y'all really get that sincerity and authenticity. Dave knows me. He knows what I'm about. He knows that this is the truth. And he knows that really what I want to do is get more people to see the content that we produce because it's being produced to help you grow. And so what I want to do is just get a whole army of people joining the Never Settle family, joining the Business Bully TV family, and helping everybody get access and share. Like y'all share Netflix all day. I know y'all share Netflix all day. I do it too. I get it. I get it. But if y'all not sharing Business Bully TV and you're here, you're doing your friends and your family members and other people that want to level up a disservice. You got to tell them, get on their Roku, pull up Business Bully TV, get on YouTube, pull it up, go to the website, go to neversettle.tv, pull it up, go to Never Settle Network on YouTube. The boy is making content to help y'all get y'all's life together and live more fulfilled and happier. So we need y'all to really support people of color that are creating free content for the benefit of y'all to really blow. That's real. But we can't sustain this if y'all not really, consuming it. It'd be one thing if the content's not tight. Ain't nobody asking you to spend time on something that ain't tight. Everybody's got a finite amount of time, except right now. Everybody's got a finite amount of time. But if the content is tight, please share the daggone thing. We need that. All right. So that's my pitch to y'all. And I'm open for questions to holler at y'all for a little bit. I know we got like maybe 10, 15 minutes if there are any questions. If not, like I said, hit me up in Instagram on the DM and you can ask me your specific questions in Instagram DM at Mario Armstrong and I will get back to you.
All right, real quick, because you already know I am hopping on here because I want people to know just in fact how great Mario Armstrong is as a human being, right? So it's 2007, maybe 2008.
Uh-oh, we doing it?
We're going there. And at this point, I'm 28, maybe 29, something like that. And I had just taken over the Ricky Smiley show and got it into syndication.
Yep.
Right.
which is big, y'all. This is big.
Yeah.
He didn't have, getting into syndication is not easy to do. It's very competitive in that landscape, especially at that time frame.
Mm-hmm.
Talk was very competitive, still is.
Yeah.
And to have a personality that was proven to a certain degree, with no disrespect, was proven to a certain degree, but wasn't proven in this space.
Right.
This was new space. TV, good to go. Radio, new space. So I just wanted to set that context because this wasn't just some easy slam dunk.
No, not at all. It was arguably like DJ Clue, 250 market, slam dunk all day.
All day.
You know, Ricky Smiley, there was the church lady.
Right.
That's
Who?
what I kept getting from radio, from radio companies. The church lady. Y'all want to put the church lady on in my morning slot?
That ain't gonna work.
In Miami.
In Miami.
In Baltimore. Like, listen to the tape. And it took a whole lot of pleading, and I had to create a reality show, which then became Ricky Smiley for Real much later on.
Mm-hmm.
In order to get people to see it, I had to piss off Usher in order to get on the front page of Media Takeout. So I'm doing all these things, and all of a sudden it's like, yo, who's the kid? Who's the kid? So at that point, I'm walking into Miami at this thing called I Rock the Mic, put on by my very good friend Rick Party, who you can see on Business Bully TV on the Rick and Sasha show right now, streaming live at Business Bully TV.
Nice.
And so there are all these people vying for attention. Oh, my show's going to do this, and I was a bailiff on one show, now I'm a judge on the other show. So it's all these people trying to pitch to all these radio people.
Yep.
And there's this guy, had hair like mine, maybe a degree finer, and he was driving a Paul Blart. He was driving a Segway. Now keep in mind, this was way before Paul Blart came out.
Yeah, right. Wait.
So there was even no precedence. It was like, yo, what the fuck kind of future unicycle shit is this some bitch riding on? You know? And I was like, yo, dude is on to something. I don't know who he is, but I'm gonna talk to him. Because everybody's like, you talking to that crazy motherfucker walking around here? What if he's security? I don't know what the hell that is.
Right.
I'm like, y'all crazy. I want to talk to that guy. And I walked up to him and he's like, hey, what are you doing? I said, well, I produced the Ricky Smiley show. He was like, for real? How old is something like 28? He was like, oh, damn, okay. Listen, I don't have a lot of time, but tonight, let's just sit down in the ballroom. I'll set up my recorder and I'll interview you. And I'm like, okay, cool. And Mario and I have been thick as thieves ever since.
Yep.
And when I tell you there is nothing like turning on the TV and seeing Rachel Ray or Steve Harvey or waking up on the Today Show and seeing Mario there doing his Mario thing. And I constantly preach being who you are, because if you become anything other than that, it's going to show up disingenuous to the audience.
Can't sustain it. So right.
You know, I'm an irreverent asshole. I understand it about myself. So,
right.
So Mario is the type of guy who wants you to win. He wants you to win almost to his own detriment. Man, which is why I love him. And you know, he said, listen, I'm trying to get to different things and I need to put together a demo. I said, oh, dude, I do demos all day. Give me your stuff. I'll put it together.
Yep.
Did not talk about money. Did not say, give me some bread. Nothing.
None of that.
You know what I'm saying? And you fast forward 10 some odd years and he says, yo, I'm about to do this thing. I done did this deal with Al Roger's production company and we're going to do it on live and it's never been done. And I'm like, holy shit, bro. Oh my God. And he's like, what? I said, bro, you ain't going to understand what I'm saying, but you're too big for TV. Now, this is before I thought about a Business Bully TV, any fucking
It's
thing.
true. I forgot about this. This is so true. Keep going. This is so
I said to him, you're too big for TV and people ain't going to see it, but I see it. And I'm telling you, when the rest of the world catches up, you'll already have your flag planted. So all of this is going on simultaneously at the same time. The Gary V comparisons are starting to come my way because I've already retired from radio. And so Mario's like, no, I know Gary V. He's a cool dude. Like when you talk to him, you'll see what I'm talking about. And I'm like, all right, cool. He's like, you need to be on more stages anyway. This is going to be great for you, so on and so forth. I'm like, okay, cool. Now, while his show is happening, all of a sudden Mario needs a producer. Well, it happened that one of my business partners at the time was producing, used to be a producer for Good Day, New York. So I said, listen, I need to connect you to this person. So his first executive producer, for the Never Settle show came from my relationship with her, and she was looking for a different position because she still wanted to do TV. She was right in New York. It just made sense. Here's the lesson. Do not shit on somebody because they're a little bit different than you. Do not shit on somebody because you don't know enough about them or you've never heard their name. You don't know how much distance or how much ground that person can help you make up or push you forward or propel you or take you from one spot to another. We weren't looking, for come-ups.
Right.
We were looking to see if there was some synergy because there were a lot of uptight, stuffy assholes in the room, and we were not uptight, stuffy. I'm speaking for me. I don't know if that's what he was looking for, but for me, I never got that vibe from him.
Right.
When I was homeless, I only made 4 stops. I left Texas. I'm gonna get to the questions, but I need to get people to understand this because I don't ever talk about this, and I've never talked about this wholeheartedly publicly. I left Texas and I went to Tennessee. I stayed in Tennessee for about a week and a half, did a couple speaking engagements, took that money, continued to gas up my truck with all my belongings, and then moved on. Hung out in North Carolina for about a week. And then my very next stop was Baltimore. And I did not stop until I called Mario Armstrong and we met, and he bought me a muffin. And we sat in Starbucks and we started strategizing on what my next steps could be. Do you remember that?
Yeah, man.
So
yeah, man,
that's the type of person that you're dealing with. He does not have the type of ego. We all have an ego, but he doesn't have the type of ego where he is afraid to say, hey, I think you'll be good for this. Talk to this person.
Yeah. And
because I gotta say this and I'm gonna shut up.
Yeah.
Whew. Mario Armstrong is a candle. See, there's different types of people, right? There are sunshine people. Those are people who just love the sunshine, and they brighten everything they touch. There are spotlight people who are fixated on one particular area but can't cover it all. And then there are the most powerful people on the planet. Those are candle people. Here's why candle people are so powerful. A candle burns. A candle has light. A candle can drive out darkness by itself. But you know what the candle does that you can't get from the spotlight and that you can't even get from the sun? The candle loses nothing by lighting another one. You put two suns together, it's over for the galaxy. Two spotlights, they're always crisscrossing. A candle never loses anything by lighting another one.
Candle. Jeez.
And that is why I begged, pleaded, and asked for Mario Armstrong to be here, because I needed you to get lit by a candle that helped to light me.
Dave, man, bruh, we've said this before, even before hearing this, we actually love each other. And, I'll never forget too, when we did the show, you had asked to be on the show. And at the time, there was so much activity. Like, we were launching something brand new. Right. There was a lot of nervousness. We didn't have time for everything that we wanted to do, but we were trying to squeeze in a lot of stuff. And I remember feeling like, man, of course I want Dave on the show, but I also have to be thinking like, okay, what is the right show? When do we put him on? How do we put him on? Like, did we just bring him in? Like, and then it was discussion. It wasn't just Mario's call, as you know, like, you can have influence, got my name on it. Right. I want to say, yo, this is happening. This has to happen. Then that can happen. But I also wanted to be a team player. Like, hey, I didn't want to look like I was forcing anything on anybody. I wanted to look like, hey, let's bring Dave in for the right reasons, for the right show, to do this thing right. And we couldn't get it together. And I was like, yo, we're running out of time. I was like, yo, I owe my boy a spot on here some way, somehow. We got to figure this out. And you don't know that this happened. But when we hit you, and I was like, yo, do this for me. Shoot me a video. Tell me about Business Bully. Make it under 2 or 3 minutes. Put that thing together. And we're going to figure out how to get that thing running to the show. Right. I knew at a minimum I could get you that exposure like that some way, somehow. It happened on the last show where we had Damon John on, which was the best show to do it on, because that was going to bring the best amount of views. Right. What happened, though, was I had also promised my right-hand guy that I would run a package that he went back to Baltimore from New York to go shoot. Somehow in the rundown, that didn't get put in. The whole show happened, ran your piece and got that in and some other stuff. And I failed to run that other package for him. And I'm saying this to say that it wasn't that my right-hand guy's thing was any less of importance than your thing.
Right.
Shouldn't have dropped the ball. Or we all as a team shouldn't have dropped the ball. But I was going to absolutely not let your package, after our history, after what we've been through, after how you helped me get some starts on my thing, to not be able to finally figure out a way to reciprocate. And you never knew this backstory and all the struggle that it was. You would think it's like, yo, I'm just gonna shoot this 2-minute thing. Mario's gonna get it into the show. It was so many decisions and things that were happening. Yeah. And I just want you to know, man, like when you put out CoronaCon, I was like, I don't know what Dave needs, but Dave is on to something, has always been. And I said, I only not want to do one session. Let me do 2, if that can help. I didn't know if that can help. I didn't know what his lineup was. And he's got obviously a tremendous lineup. People getting ready to come on at 7. It's going to blow your mind away. So stick around for that. But I did know that it's like, yo, if my boy is doing something and what he needs from me right now is time, I better damn sure be able to give it to him. And so thank you, man, for inviting me. Thank you for also allowing me to present 2 different topics to try to help your audience and to try to help CoronaCon. And thank you for sending me your deck on Business Bully so we can think about how we can help you continue to grow that.
Yeah.
Right before this thing, you hit me up and you're like, yo, can you connect me to so-and-so? I'm like, done. But that's what he's talking about. That's how it works. We're not looking to monetize each other.
No.
We're looking to build things because we know the monetization will come.
Right. And he'll tell you this. I literally just yesterday, last night, because we were having technical difficulties, is why Mario was here today. I said to him, I said, listen, is the entire season in the can? Because I really want to sponsor something.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, oh, it's in the can. I'm like, damn. I'm like, yeah. I want to give him some money. But we'll figure stuff out. But let me just let's get in here.
Yeah, because we are like, I can go 5 more minutes if that's cool.
That's all we need.
Really quick.
So quick question. Let me get back to it.
Okay.
What is the best way to handle sponsorships if you have a global audience? Is it best to approach brands who only have a global presence only?
So if your global presence is super strong, then I would start there. Otherwise, what I would do is break out your markets. I would look for international sponsors to deal with your global audience, but then I would also look at your domestic audience. So I would break out 2 opportunities. It's a great question, but only you know. So like if you are a truly international audience, then yes, I would start with brands that can service their products internationally. You wouldn't want to work with just one brand that can only do something in the US or could only do something in Africa or could only do something in Japan. You would want to try to find brands that are ubiquitous in multiple spaces. So that's the first thing. Otherwise, then start to segment them and treat them both as local markets. So do your Africa brands with African companies. Find Asian brands for your Asian audience. Find US brands for your US audience.
Awesome. Next question is, at what point in your business do you think you should be reaching out to sponsors? Do they look at the specific metrics that they base their decision on? Like,
so here's a great question. So a great answer to this is, I'm so glad this question was brought up. A lot of you that may be doing sponsorships for the first time, what I want you to do is I want you to do a brand deal for free. And here's why. Because you don't have the numbers maybe to support, which is why you're asking this question. What do they look for? Again, it goes back to those 4 things that are important. Are they looking for brand exposure? That means they're just trying to be seen. Are they looking for alignment? Are they looking for leadership authority? Or are they looking to have product be sold through you? And they're going to have a trackable link. The deal is most brands want to see your impressions, like what the reach of your campaign is. And you're going to have the systems to track that. It's very easy to do. And you have to also understand the value and the expertise you bring. A lot of people just charge for the reach. Oh, I got 2,000 followers on Instagram, so I'm gonna charge this much. But are you also charging for the expertise you bring, or the unique perspective you bring, or your ability to motivate people to actually take action with that brand? So all of those non-tangible things should be added into your value. Here's the other thing I'll say. Make sure that when you're pricing this, you leave some money for you to do paid advertising on that campaign. So when you charge for the amount of money that you intend to run this program that you're going to need to either hire people or put it through. Have your profit built in so that you have some profit to feed back into the company, but then also have some money aside where you can actually boost some of the stuff that you're doing. So if we were to do this thing with Cadillac and I do something on YouTube, then I know if I spend $200 on YouTube, that's going to equate to probably 2,000, 3,000 views. I mean, 10,000 views or something like that. Like you got to start playing with the advertising to know what the numbers will get you, but build that into your pricing. And many brands expect this anyway. They want organic reach as much as possible, but they also understand that you may be doing some paid reach as well. And then the last thing is that I started with was if it's your first couple of brand deals, do one for free. So approach a brand right now, say, here's who I am, here's what I'm about. Your stuff is really aligned well with my products and my people and my community and my demographic. I'm going to do this thing and I want to do it for free for you because I just want to bring value to you. I'm a big fan of what you do. We're big fans and I just want to promote it. Get them to say yes and then say in exchange, I just want a testimonial from you. After this thing runs, you don't pay for it. Just give me a video testimonial on how what this campaign did for you or what it was like working for me. Because here's what you do. You take that, you put that into a video clip, you put that in your presentations, you put that on your one-sheeter. Nobody's got to know nobody paid you. So go to that local restaurant, go local first. Don't try to go to McDonald's and ask them for a freebie. It's too much work. Don't try to go to Toyota. Go to somebody local or go to a mid-tier company and ask them to do this thing for free in exchange for a video testimonial. And then you use that to then go to the next set of people and say, this is what we do. We did this for this company, this restaurant, this salon, this business, and here's what they had to say. We want to get you the same results. Oh, how much does that cost? Let's talk about that. Like, that's how you do
it. That is dope. Two-time Emmy Award winner Mario Armstrong is in the building. Thank you so much for being here at CoronaCon, brother. I love you. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. I'm so
It's done with hooked and hitched for life. No, man, hey, everybody straight up, really appreciate all your time and your attention to this. Make sure that you're really spreading that love that Dave is putting out. It's a lot of work that you don't see goes on behind the scenes to make these things happen and to get the lineup of people that he's bringing to you. You talk about a candle on candle. This has got to be like a candle lighting 50 candles at once. Like it's just like a Lego. It's just happening. So really, really support what Dave is doing and be there for this brother, man. Like really push this Business Bully TV and really get people to watch these replays of CoronaCon because, you know, Dave is on to something. We're both on to something and we're going to work together and we're going to continue to try to blow your mind and light those candles. Yes. Dave, I appreciate you and love you as always, man. Thanks for having me on. And I look forward to what you got coming up at 7, which is going to be killer. You might want to tease that up, but I'll see you soon, man. And we'll talk more business over the next week.
You got it, my man.
All right, brother.
All right, cool. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have Leslie Richardson. And Leslie Richardson is going to talk about how to thrive and survive anything the coronavirus or your government can throw at you. So get ready for that. That's going to be a phenomenal situation right here. And if you have not had an opportunity, I'm going to need you to go ahead right now and go to Business Bully TV. Why? Because we just stream live all week long on Business Bully TV. And if, in fact, you have a big man in your life who just needs a style upgrade, might I present the Winston Box? Oh, yes, the Winston Box right here. You can go to thewinstonbox.com, put in the keyword bully at checkout and get 33% off of your first box. That's right, $25 off your first box, 33% off your first box, just for signing up and using that keyword bully. You'll absolutely love it. How do I know? I own the company. That's how I know. And there's nothing like being stylish. And let me tell you something, everything that you see me have on, with the exception of this shirt, has been from the Winston Box. So make sure you check this out. Absolutely awesome. And go ahead and make sure that you register at coronacon.live because we're still here. we're still killing it. We still got plenty of heavy hitters and lots of information to disseminate. So I want y'all to check it out, get all you can get, and we'll be back around 8 o'clock for you. All right, it's 8 o'clock Eastern. Looking forward to it. Thanks so much for being here. And as always, take care.